Introverts, how did you meet your girlfriend? Online. Tinder. I can do alright once I know someone is at least kind of interested in me, like agreeing to go on a date. It's when I don't know for certain that they're at least a little interested when I have trouble. I shut down. I deflect as a defense mechanism. The relationship I'm in now though is great because of Tinder. There were actually 2 large gaps where we didn't talk to each other because that's how Tinder goes, and then the conversation got started up again. One of the gaps was over a month long because she didn't respond to my question. I give her shit all the time about how we were real close to never meeting. It went like this. Casual conversation, I ask a question about what she likes. No answer for over a month, then randomly messages me and answers me. Must have gotten bored and gone through her previous matches. Talk a little bit more, I ask a question and she doesn't answer. 8 days after I ask her the question I message her, see you in another month? With a smiley emoji. She answers back, you're right, I'm really bad at this. Want to get coffee? The rest is history, so far at least. We've only dated for about 8 months but we both know we're going to marry each other. I can post our entire conversation if anyone's interested. At the workplace, in the cubicle next to me, part of the same team. My best friend started dating her best friend. We started hanging out through our friends. She was, and still is, beautiful but I thought she was out of my league so I never tried hitting on her. I was just my normal self hanging out with my buddy. One day she looked over at me and said, you know I'm into you, right? I had no clue but I never looked back. We got married last year and are expecting our first child in 2 days. Got a job with my COOP program at university. We had the same days off. Convenience mostly. Work. What girlfriend? Tinder. I super liked her and she messaged me first. She made a Facebook status about a thunderstorm and I commented that I loved thunderstorms and she messaged me and now we have sex and stuff, it's pretty cool. She came to talk to me. It has been like that since my first girlfriend. I don't know what it is, but when I gather enough courage to talk to a girl it never lasts too long. But when they come and talk to me it usually clicks instantly and it goes pretty well. I guess I show off that I have more confidence when someone hits on me, because I never believe it to be the case. I guess my tip for fellow introverts is, keep being an introvert and never believe that someone is hitting on you. Yeah, that should be perfect. Picked her up from elementary school. In class. It all started when I told this girl in high school I never smoked weed before. Violence. I hit her on the nose by accident one day when we both turned a corner at the same time. I felt really bad about it, but it led to a long conversation and we got together. Met in high school by sitting next to each other in English class sophomore year, though we never got too close and lost touch after graduating. Junior year of college, I messaged a bunch of people from high school to see how they're doing. With the majority, I have brief, surface-level conversations. With her, we ended up chatting for hours. We started chatting regularly, more than we talked in high school. We hung out once to catch up and spent hours walking around downtown Manhattan having a great time. Had another hangout planned. She made a joke about how my conservative Muslim parents would react if they misinterpreted it as a date. I asked if we could actually make it a date. She said yet. Soon after, we started a relationship. Went abroad. Was exotic. Easy. Had class together our second semester of college, so after summer I ran into her in campus, we kinda hit it off. She's back home for the summer now and it's kinda long distance and it's pretty rough. Lol. All these replies. Almost every comments looks like extroverts. English lessons. After awkwardly tying my shoe for like 20 minutes outside, while waiting for her to come out of the building, I walked her home and we sorta hit it from there. Still haven't met her. I haven't. I didn't frown. She was friends with my sister. We were sitting next to each other at a Christmas party and she sent me a Facebook message. greater than I know this sounds crazy, but I'd like to crawl on top of you and kiss you. Would you like to step into the kitchen? Or outside? Less than. Talking to her. My introvert asked me for the time and I spilled coffee all over myself. It was the first day of astronomy class in our first year of university. I dropped the class but kept him. We'll be married for 16 years this August. Female polyamorous introvert here, dating one extrovert boyfriend and one introvert boyfriend. Met the extrovert boyfriend at a D&D game run by my college roommate in our shared dorm apartment. Met my introvert boyfriend at a polyamory meetup group, where we were both awkward and nerdy and ended up talking about video games the while time. Met her when I was doing my 6th form education at a different school. It was a school my best friend since primary had been at for his entire KS2 education, so I immediately became friends with his friends right off the bat. We would spend most mornings before lessons playing card games like Irish Snap and such. Anyway, after a while of this, we became quite pally with a close group of girls who I had presumed had been friends throughout all of KS2. So for 2 years we all got to know each other and would play a shitload of cards every morning. It was funny though because I was only really quite pally with a few of the girls. Some of the others wouldn't be in as often, so I didn't know them as well. One of these was my to-be girlfriend, but at the time we barely spoke. However, we saw each other more outside of 6th form when we all met up as a group. We were the only 2 people there pretty much who didn't drink, at least I didn't at the time, so we got to know each other gradually over time. I asked if she wanted to get drinks at a local cafe soon after I got to know her better, and we went on these little dates for a few months. Eventually I got the balls to ask her out and I was floored when she said yes. It's our first year anniversary in a month. Introvert woman, met boyfriend on Tinder. I met my wife on OkCupid, after much coaxing by friends to give online dating a shot. I'm a quiet, shy, introvert who takes quite a while to warm up to people, and I told outright in my profile that it would take a bold woman to get me to open up. One definitely found me. Despite me only searching for someone locally, less than 100 miles away, she found me from over 600 miles away. I nearly ignored her initial message, thinking there's no way this could go anywhere due to the distance, but decided to message her back anyway, if for nothing more than giving me an opportunity to boost my conversation skills with women by chatting with her. We clicked immediately and talked nearly every night, then did the long distance thing for nearly a year before finally meeting face to face. This really removed a lot of pressure because by the time we finally met, I felt like I really knew her closely. We've been together for over 5 years and married just over a year ago. Not a complete introvert, but met my soon-to-be girlfriend at church. She sang during Easter Mass, confessed this April, will ask her out this May. P.S. She likes me too. Didn't, grimacing face. Bumble. I have a girlfriend? Started off as pen pals, met on a pen pal site. Next month will be our 14-year anniversary. Blind date. Mutual friends thought it would be a good match. I figured there was nothing to lose. Best decision I ever made. ITT, people don't realize being introverted does not mean you are shy or socially inept. It means you find social situations draining, especially with loads of people around. Well, exes of recently, but she was the initiator. We met around the time that we started college, we go to the same place, and she just took a huge interest in me, to which I was like, whoa, that's new. So I rode the wave. Turns out that she was an enormously interesting person and a social butterfly, so once I got comfortable with her, things just kinda fell into place because we both wanted it to. Things ended after a few years in part because of my introvertedness, but that's a different story. I just put myself out there and let an extrovert initiate. Highly recommend. We had a great relationship. Engineering camp. Got along really well. Why does everyone assume introvert equals socially awkward? We're not incapable of casual conversation or enjoying parties, we just recharge our batteries by being alone, instead of being with people. That's it. That's the difference. I'm an introvert. My friend is an extrovert. My girlfriend I met through his girlfriend on a night out. His girlfriend he met because his mom asked her out for him. Kind of backwards from what you'd expect. About 7 years ago I asked my ex-girlfriend for her number so we could catch up. Got given a random number instead. Texted the number and it belonged to a girl who lived 8 hours away. 5 years later we finally met and then moved in together. Been together for 2 years now. The ex-girlfriend, dated during high school, she asked me out, said yes.